This is the book of 2 Ezra chapter 9 and 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakodash, double honors unto the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to you, Akim, pushing this word in sincerity and in truth. This is your brother Yassad back at you with another lesson. Willing to edify into the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. This one here would be going into the aspect of, the end being manifest, and we clearly seen, two articles here basically, one mentioning about a plague with a man being deleted within 24 hours with contracting that phenomic plague, and also when you look at how drastic is, like every day is 4, 5, 6, 7 earthquake, because the time being manifest, right? The time at the end of this man's rulership, it's starting to be clear, right? Here it is, the days are being shortened, so to say, the earth spinning faster, which we know is off according to the scriptures, because it's basically the sun. The scriptures speak about the sun making its circuit around the earth. The alteration of the sun in the Apocrypha. Right? So let's get this article first. Alright, let's see. Earthquakes. Right. 1 hour ago, Alaska is the most earthquake-prone state. Here's why. Wednesday earthquake was notable. A magnitude of 7.3 earthquake off Alaska, Aleutian Island chain struck in a region that has experienced a handful of powerful quakes within the last 5 years. Right, Alaska's tsunami warning had residents scrambling for high ground after 7.3 magnitude earthquake. Right, July the 9th. What flood insurance does and does not. It's a death toll from dozens of earthquakes and aftershock in Guatemala rises to 4. Right. Multiple earthquake killed 2 people in Guatemala, caused landslide and evacuations. Right. Survivors of Turkey devastating earthquake face another natural disaster, wildfires. Record-breaking climates. It's an earthquake with a preliminary 6.2 magnitude shakes Panama with no immediate report of damage. China left a nearly 2-year ban. It's a 5.7 magnitude quake strikes near the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico and causes minor damage. And as we see here, earthquakes upon earthquakes. Another article here, by BBC News Worldwide. Arizona resident deleted from plague, health officials say. A resident of Arizona has died from pneumonic plague. Health officials confirmed on Friday that was the first record death from the disease in the country since 2007. Coconino, Country Health and Human Services reported in that case a person had an interaction with a dead animal infected with the disease. Plagues known as the Black Death in the 14th century killed up to half of Europe's population. Right? It is now rare in humans and can be treated with antibiotics. An average of 7 human plague cases are reported each year in the U.S. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says Coconino County government said the risk to the public of exposure remains low. Hey, you know, you're seeing it happening. The days being shorter. Earthquakes in diverse places, plagues being sent. Who may draw them back, right? Because they say it's basically the sign of the earth itself, mourning, and the Lord rendering out, judgment upon this place. Let's get into the scriptures, This ain't gonna be too long, just straight to the point. 2 is 9. I'll start at verses 2. Start at 1. He said unto me, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest pass of the signs pass which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that in the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. That is why there's so much aerial phenomenon. Many UFOs, sightings. For surely now they cannot deny the fact because the truth is being out there. Knowledge of the Lord, flood the earth, right? And the prophets out here day and night, pushing out the word, crying aloud, being as watchmen upon the house of Israel, So, yeah. And that is it, this truth is coming out. So no longer they could hide the fact that the so-called UFOs, which we explain and, prove, through the scriptures that these are the angels of the Lord, the vehicle that the mean of transport that they actually use, right? To get by and whatnot, right? And there's many accounts in the scriptures concerning it, right? Let's see, wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of people of the people in the world, uproars. Many protests was what taking place with the bombing Iran. Many protests right now with the ice. This thing is just the people mourning, right? When the wicked is in authority, the people that mourn. A lot of people, speaking out against that they regretted voting for Trump and whatnot, right? Yeah. Oh, great uproars of the people. It's where the No Kings protest. Where the No Kings protest, the largest single-day demonstration in American history. Depending on who you ask, between 4 to 6 million people showed up. Right? Hey, this is one of the largest single-day, protests, uproars of the people, and then we know there's also this here from CNN nationwide protests begin against Trump immigration crackdown and healthcare cuts. Right, protests and events against Trump controversial policies that include mass deportation and cut to Medicaid and other safety nets for the poor people have started Thursday at more than 1,600 locations around the country. The good trouble lives on. National Day of Action honors the late congressman and civil rights leader. Right, protests were being held along streets, at courthouses, and other public spaces. Organizers have called for them to be peaceful, you know. Yeah, and hey, uproars of the people. More than 1,600 locations, you know. Yeah, because we in that time, the devil, the rulers of the world, they actually showing the true colors. They don't care about the people, you know. They really don't business about you people, and they're gonna more and more they're gonna show you, because they're gonna lead you right up to their agenda, which is to go full cashless, that digital era. How you all like real cattle, you know. But to say it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, because targeting the poor with the no support and government checks and these things, a lot of these things that would be cut, affecting the poor man. Hey, they basically starting to crumble the poor to bring them more to the knees. So hey, when time to implement the system, they're gonna already be in need of it. Because hey, it's all gradualism, right? Just now, as the scriptures say, a man would desire to go into a city and will not be able to. The prophecies. Yeah, it is Trump under the ice getting rid of all, immigrants. And they that are born in America, they actually taking some of them and deporting them as well. That even which are citizens being deported. You know? Yeah, and there's just more and more. Let's say, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of these things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Right? For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, the end is manifest. Even so, the times also of the highest have plain beginnings in wonder and powerful works, and an end in effects and signs. Right? Now, and here, the Lord said that He gonna visit with tempest. Isaiah 29:6, it said, Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake. Right now Trinidad currently under, like a thunderstorm, many flashing of lightning and whatnot. It's a great noise with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Yeah, it will come at you 24. Turn verses 7. Let's say we'll start at verses 6. And ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. Because right now, as you see, the war between, Russia and Ukraine, Israel and Iran, Israel and Palestine, Israel and Gaza, China, Taiwan, yeah. And just recently, I was taking in a little article concerning a strike from Vietnam.
غارة جديدة وائل، غارة ثانية، غارات عنيفة جدا. 4 صواريخ، 4 صواريخ، 4 صواريخ وائل، غارة عنيفة جدا. غارة
Israel attacks, Syria National Ministry, because the vibration of wars in the air, wars and rumors of wars. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise up against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Right? Second Ezra 16. Right? From verse 14 it said, behold, the plagues are sent, right? And shall not return again until they come upon the earth. Right? Yeah. Jump into verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The days of the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. The uproars of the people crying out the mourning, from oppression. The beginning of famine and great death, with a lot of the ICE program in operation. A lot of the immigrants that actually used to work up on the farms and the plantations, you know, doing the agriculture, cultivation of crops and whatnot. With them going, a lot of farms have to close down, and the production now is much more slower. Whereby what it would cause the shortage of goods, and it would affect the market, the economy, right? Let's say the beginning of wars, and of powers shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be mindful of the scourges. So hey, you Jake, say we out here warning you all to the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem El Shai. If you all do repent and turn back to him, hey, all I just say is gonna consume you, you know. So hey, just us staying in the spirit, firing up into the spirit of prophecy, because the testimony of the Lord is the spirit of prophecy. Hopefully this was edifying. Until the next Shalom.